Hi guys! Today we're making this Japanese inspired miniature garden to go along with the tea house we made a little while ago. I went for a very simple and peaceful look, but you can customize this however you want. The first thing we're gonna make is the stone lantern. I wanted my lantern to actually work, so I took one of these LED fake candles and took it apart until I had the little LED light and the battery. This is a very cheap way to get a little lamp for a project like this, cause real dollhouse lamps can be pretty pricey. I also used some grey polymer clay, some basic sculpting tools and an X-Acto knife, a toothbrush, a circle cutter and a piece of tinfoil crumpled together. To make the base of the lantern with the legs, you're first gonna roll out your polymer clay and then you're gonna sketch out a cross shape for the legs, being sure the middle is big enough to contain the battery. This is what I used the circle cutter for, because it was about the same size, so I knew that when I built on top of it I could create a void where the battery could be hidden. Round off the edges with your fingers, then place it on top of the tinfoil and fold the legs down and cut away any excess. Now take the toothbrush and dab all over the surface to create a stone-like texture. Cut a little slit in the top so the battery has a place to sit, and then pre-bake it for 5 minutes to harden. Once you've checked that the battery can sit, then dab on some liquid clay so we're sure that the new clay we're gonna add is gonna stick, and then we're gonna start building upwards. I started by adding a snake along the base, and then a rectangular piece that I wrapped all the way around. I pre-baked a few times through the process so you can pre-bake whenever you need to. I made a little test halfway to see that the battery would fit and the lamp would actually light. Don't get the lamp or the battery anywhere near the oven though. I added some clay to the outside to make it a little more decorative. To make the top part, you're gonna cut out 5 squares with inner squares cut out. Then you're gonna pre-bake them and then you're gonna stick them together with liquid clay. Then you're gonna cut out a lid to go on the very top. When you're done with the lid, you're gonna bake all the lantern pieces completely. After cooling, use some glue to stick the top to the lid. After that, I brushed on some watered down black acrylic paint. After that, I sealed it with a matte glaze. Then we can assemble our lantern. And there you go, a working miniature lantern. Next we're gonna make a simplified bamboo water fountain for the other end of the garden. Take a piece of bamboo and use a small saw to cut off a piece. Then file the cut edge with a file before using a handheld drill to make a hole all the way through. We want to be able to pour water through it. File one end at an angle before cutting another piece of bamboo to be the base. Glue the two pieces together, I'm using tacky glue. Next we're gonna make a little stone ball to catch the water from the bamboo. For this you're gonna need a glass marble and some grey clay. Roll the clay into a ball and stick the glass marble down into it. Then cut away clay at an angle towards the bottom. Smooth it out with your fingers. Then use the dotting tool to make a little rim around the edge. Finally, use the toothbrush again to add texture and then bake it completely. And that's the stone base for the fountain. Now we're gonna start working on the actual garden, beginning with the waterfall. I found this wooden tray that I wanted for my base, but you can work on any tray you want. For the base of the waterfall, I'm using tinfoil that I crinkled up into a ball and then squished together into kind of a stair shape. Then I use my hot glue gun to glue the tinfoil to the base. Then I use some small stones and glue those on to form kind of the stair shape I wanted for my waterfall. Yet again, these stones was graciously donated by my mother. These are from her yard. Sketch out the shape you want for your pond and then go over it with your hot glue gun. This creates a border for the resin later. Go over it a few times to make it taller. Next we're gonna use glue to stick on some sand. To cover the tinfoil of the waterfall, we're gonna glue on some black sand that resembles dirt. And that's the basic of our waterfall. Now we're gonna add the water. To make the water that leaps from one step to the other of the waterfall, we're gonna use this clear plastic either from packaging or just a clear sheet. Then you're gonna cut a small strip. Glue the strip to the waterfall. The first person I saw do this method for making water at the waterfall was Nerdy Crafter. If you haven't checked out her channel, you definitely should cause she's awesome. I used my hot glue gun to simulate the water coming from the top, the waterfall, and going down the strip towards the pond. You can use resin if you want, but the hot glue is just easier to handle because it dries way quicker. To fill the pond, I'm going to use a resin product called solid water, but you can also use pouring resin. Mix the two components according to instructions, and then pour it in. As the resin dried, some of it kind of seeped out, probably because I didn't close off the pond well enough, but it didn't really matter because the surrounding area was going to be covered completely anyway. Next we're going to glue on these tiny little pebbles for a path. Next we're going to glue down the little bamboo fountain, surrounding it with rocks and sand. For the grass, I'm using a product called Flower Soft, which is made for making miniature flowers, and it basically looks like shredded plastic. For the final decorations, I use some bamboo tops, some dried moss and some twigs. To make some small trees, I glued some dried moss onto some twigs. And then we're done. Now you can pour water through the little water fountain and enjoy your garden. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me a like if you did and subscribe if you want to see more. Bye!